use vegetables, bread, and we use for a lot of work working horses instead of a tractor. I run this farm for 10 years and then I had to stop because new people come on the farm. The owners of the farm come back, so I have to go away from the farm. And the last 5 years I work as a consultant about CSA, and usually I work overall in Germany and Austria. If I think about this webinar, I found or figure out at first 3 important things to manage a CSA, and with a look on the management. It's the first one is, please make for the future realistic costs. It's in so much CSA farms that the people think, oh, okay, for example, in a tractor, or how much people we need to make really the whole work, it's often too optimistic. And it's my own experience. I make the same as I start my own CSA 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Don't be too optimistic. Please be realistic. It's really important. And maybe the important thing about how long can a work takes, how much and how much we need really money for all the seeds and all this stuff. The second one is also much important. It's a good storage of your old budget. That means please take really care of what you produced maybe 5 years ago, so that you can really go into your old material and see, okay, what's happened last year, what's happened 2 years before, and what a kind of evolution actually happened in our CSA. And the third important thing is, please have a regular check of your actual budget. Yeah, it's much important because sometimes you don't have the right feeling for the money. Maybe you take more money out as you have, and you don't really check it what actually happened. And therefore, it's really important. Also, in the time where there's much to do on the farm, as now in spring or summertime, I know how much is to do, but you need 2 hours or 3 hours just to sit down and look in your own evolution of the farm. It's really important from the side of the budget. Okay, so that was my first input, and now let's go a little bit more into detail. You see on the screen, it's called cost of shares, and that's the result for me of a CSA farm. Every CSA farm have some parts. Maybe they have animals, maybe they have arable farming, that means bread produced or what else, and maybe they have vegetables or horticultures and some more. And the first really important thing to manage a CSA farm and to make a real good budget is to figure out which parts we have and which parts really needs to have a shared view. That's the first thing. So in my example, I have here 3, and then you see how much harvest share you have. Maybe you produce for 50 or 400 or for 1,000. We have in Germany maybe, and then the result is at the end how much harvest we have for 1 year in euros, and what is a month, because most of the people are paid in month. Okay, I think you all ask you now, okay, that's clear, but how can I came to these numbers, to these costs here? And therefore, we go into detail, for example, horticulture or vegetables. What I show you now is from my experience in the last 15 years to run my own CSA over a long time, and to consult much other CSA, and from much farmers I get a result or feedback that really functions good what you try here. So let's go into detail. At the end, here comes the complete annual cost for the CSA, for the horticulture part, for the vegetable part. And if you go deeper, and it's more and more like a root, like a fine root, more and more details. The first is revenues and expenditures. That's overall. So let's be deeper. Then is the next part or step, which revenues are not directly from CSA. And the classical things are here the subsidies. I'm not sure if in every country you have subsidy system. In Germany we have it, and I think over 90% of the CSA farms in Germany get subsidies. Maybe you have others. Maybe you are also on the you have a stock market or whatever. Then it came in here. And then the next most important things are the loans and for the people. Also in a good farm, well, what is a good farm is a good question. I mean, a farm who have a big machine, have a real good mechanical grade. Also in a farm like this, the wake costs are the biggest output they need. CSA means people need money to do their work. It's so much handwork, not only on produce the vegetables, it also afterwards to get it out to the depots and all the centers and all the driving cars and all these steps of working that is necessary. And therefore, I think the wake costs are the first you get really figure out right. And yeah, what is the right wake that you just can decide on your individual way. Yeah, for example, we have in Germany, we talk about 14 euro for one working hour should be the absolute minimum for 1 hour. But it's in every country, there are different ways. There are two big things. You see it here, you need it with the word self-employed. That means that a farm is, it's a farmer who has his own farm. The other thing is that if you have employed, we just called it gross salary. It's at the end, it's the same. It's ask yourself who work on the farm and how much money every single person need. That's the important question here in this part, from here to here. Okay, and then I see here, you see, I make it monthly because, for example, in vegetables, you have much money you have to give now in springtime for seeds and loan and all the things and fuel, and there's maybe not enough coming in because all from the CSA give monthly money, but it's not enough in the springtime. And therefore, I think the best way is to really took it on every month so that you can see at the result, have I really enough money in my pocket in my CSA in this month? Okay, and then the big operation resource. And what is it actually? I make a difference between use in 1 year and then the investment used more than 1 year. I came later on why I make it. But here you have a typical list of used in 1 year in the vegetable production. You have seeds and soils and leases, you need cultivation, maybe contractors, maybe your neighbor come to plow your land or whatever. You have a home page. You have maybe this is special. Germany Workers Union is We call it in German Berufsgenossenschaft. It's a kind of insurance. You have to make it in Germany. Here you have the public liberty insurance, the property tax. You have maybe not in every land. There is a lubricants if you have a tractor, electricity, water, repairs of tools, small items, certification. If you are a certification farm, we have a big discussion about certification now on CSA in Europe. Fees for the lectures. This is an important thing. Advertising, media, information, even more. This one, further education. It's so important that a farmer makes further education, and also the people who work on the farm. And it can be work if you take money here and say to your CSA, come on, we need from time to time go to a good seminar or something else, and we need therefore money, and it should come into the part of the CSA costs. Server fee, reserves. It's a good way to think about 3% from your yearly money you give out as a reserve. Then you are on a real good side if you make it. Okay, tax consultancy if you need it. In Germany, some CSA farms use a tax consultancy, and some make it at their own. I think a small farm can manage it, but it's also depend on the countries. The VAT is in every European country. Office costs also. You need you know what you need, a room or a computer, all these things, and at the least you need cars or something to bring your products into the town or wherever the people get it. Okay, and then maybe you have in your special farm other things. Put it here. All what is need in 1 year. That's this whole group, and just an example for vegetables. Okay, the next really important things are the investments. These are maybe the part of numbers who are in most of the farms are in a badly situation, because these investments are not really integrate into the budget. And I show here my way, how I make it and why I make it. You can here try it. You see here tractor. If you use a tractor, maybe you have buy it in 2015, and maybe it have cost you 10,000 euros. It was an old one. And from this year on, you think, okay, I took my tractor every night into the garage and I love it really, so it works for 20 years, I think. Then you have annual cost for 500 euros. And this is so important to look at the whole number of investments. And here I see the definition, the things used for more than 1 year. Please go over your farm and look, okay, what is here actually longer than 1 year? And look at the buildings, look at the tractors, of course. Look at all the appliance machines for tractors that come behind the tractor, the tillage. Look for, maybe you have a cold store and other buildings and all these things. And do all what is here. I make an example. When have I buy it? What was the price? How long can I use it? And at the end, you get a list of money, and then you have here as a result the yearly costs. And I think the best is to make these yearly costs into monthly cost, because this number here is actually what the salary or the CSA have to pay you as a farmer. If, and that's important, if all the stuff's owned by you, yeah, that's an important question. Who owns these things? And the simplest thing on the first hand is, okay, one man or one woman owns all these implements, yeah, because he's or she's a farmer. And then it's completely, for me, right to say, okay, the number is coming out here, that comes into the cost of the Solavi because it's for the CSA, because this is the money for 1 year. And it's good to, if it is in the budget, the money comes in, and the farmer is can buy new things in so much of these money is so good. My English is not perfect. I'm sorry. I hope you understand me. Yeah.
Your English is great, Klaus. There are two questions. One
okay,
is
just wait. Yeah, please take your questions. Make a big space for your questions because I think that's important.
So we keep them for the end, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I just need for 2 minutes or so. Wait. So then we have all. Once again, win-loss, revenues, except from the CSA, the weight cost, and the operational resources for 1 year, and then at least the investment. We don't have time to fill out here the completely list. It was too long, but at the end, yeah, you get then here what's out, and you get a result about 1 year and 1 month. Okay, I think I stop here. It's actually a completely lightly structure. It's not so difficult. It's easy. It's an easy structure. I'll take it back here. What I do? Because then it's just simple. Okay. So that was all what I want to show, and now I'm ready for the questions.
So Klaus, I already promised everyone that you are going to share your your Excel sheet. I hope that's okay for you. And then we have 3 questions. One is about what is mentioned as soil as one of the operational expenses. So the question is, in your case, what does it mean exactly? What do you put under soil? Should I give you the 2 other questions now and you answer?
Please, we make it one by one.
Okay, so that
okay
was the first one.
Okay, I come here. The question is here about the soil. Soil in vegetable production means that you make, okay, what is it? Jungpflanzen, it's in German. It's to, when you make, just wait, I look at the, seedlings. If you make, if a vegetable production gardenery makes its own seedlings, then they need soil to start it, to put the little seed, maybe for corn or something else, into the soil. And this soil, I mean, the soil that used for production of seedlings. It's clear, I hope.
I think so, and maybe Judith can give us the right word for this kind of soil in English.
Just wait. Seedlings earth.
Seedlings earth.
I can write it.
Okay. Right, and the second question from Samuel is, in the costs presented by you, Klaus, some are about promotion and trading, but the great economic advantage of CSA is to eliminate all post-harvest costs, except transportation. So how is this taken into account? Basically,
okay.
I think the question by Samuel is like, how would you justify having these promotional and trading costs?
Oh, that I don't understand. How? Okay. I don't understand the question really.
Maybe Samuel, if you want to ask,
Yes.
go ahead.
Hello,
Hi.
Samuel.
Yes. Good morning. Good afternoon. I don't know. Are you hearing me? Yes.
I can hear you good. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, because you were just. I didn't see in the detail, but it seemed that you had some things about fees, lecture fees, and other things about also promotion with the medias and so on. No. So to me, it's something which normally in CSA you have not, because you have a direct agreement with the consumers. So you don't need to have any cost. And the ideal situation is that you have no cost after the post harvest, only transportation. Because this is the advantage, economic advantage, and you have to take advantage of it. You understand?
Not really. What is your question?
Maybe the question to put it simply, what do you put under this budget line yourself, Klaus? What do you do in terms of promotion or trading? I'm not sure about the exact word you are using. Advertising, media information events.
Yeah. It's about advertising, media, information events.
Yes. What do you do exactly for the
okay.
CSA farm?
Okay. Make an example.
Yes.
A good in advertising can be to check the soil of your farm, to have an advisor about which fertilizer should I use, also in ecological farming, or which new machine should I try, or things like that. That I mean with advertising, and that have costs, because a good advertiser needs money. The same is
it advising or is it advertising?
Advertising.
Because it's a way for you to communicate about your farm. I'm not sure how you put this under this budget line actually.
On my farm, we have some consultants on our farm, of course.
I see there are some hence reason. If it's really on this topic, and if you want to input on this particular question, go ahead. Max, for example, is it related to this topic?
Yes, yeah, I think this is just the translation topic, because I mean, Samuel asked about what means advertisement, and then Klaus said something about consultancy. So I think this is misunderstanding because of translation. This is just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, maybe it's something about advising instead of advertising or something like this. Domenico, is it also on this topic?
No, it was just a question if is shareable, this like a template, but you just responded.
Oh.
If this document is shareable, you said, sorry?
Yes, you can use it. You can have it.
Okay.
And now I understand the advertising. Okay, yes. Advertising means not advising, of course. Sorry. It was a question, which advertising I have used? Is it?
Well, it's just that I think basically Samuel was a bit surprised to see a budget line for a CSA farm, which is about media, information, communication. Because in his mind, a Solavi or CSA farm wouldn't need to have this kind of post-harvest costs. But maybe, so I don't know, either there is a mistake and actually this budget line is about advising, or then you still have communication actions that you want to share maybe about your CSA farm.
No, I make a mistake. It is
Okay.
about advertising, not about advising.
Perfect.
I use advertising on my own farm. On much other farms, I see it also. For example, you plan your CSA for 100 people, and they can become years where you don't have the 100. Yeah, maybe they are just 70 or 60. We have in Germany that on the most farms in every year go 20% of the people out. They just try it for 1 year with CSA, and then they say, okay, it's not really for me, I go out. And then a farm can come into the situation that is not full. You can produce your 100, but they are not 100. And then you need a good advertising that new people come to the farm and listen to your concept and enter the CSA.
That's exactly what Zoltán from Hungary, who is also a CSA farmer, is saying in the chat. He writes, "We advertise at the start of every season and organize information events to further the CSA movement or get new members." Mm-hmm. And also in terms of the discussion about the budget line, he's also saying, no, sorry, Zsófi is saying, Zsófi is also from Hungary, so that's why I mistook. But Zsófi is saying that communication costs could also include the cost of the internet or the phone and so on. Okay, so I think it's a bit clarified now. We can move maybe to the next question, which was Maria and Romana from Sweden or Norway, I guess, who were asking, we were thinking of the monthly payments from members. So they are wondering basically that basically the idea of the core idea of CSA is to get the money in advance, and still in your document, Klaus, it seems that there is a monthly payment coming in. So how do you explain that?
That's from experience, because the more it's actually, that's right. You need one money, for example, 60,000 euros. But at the first, it's share about 100 people if you have 100, for example. And then it's my experience that the most people want to pay monthly, not yearly. There are some, and it's good that if you have some, it's good for the farm, but most of the people want to pay monthly, and therefore I take it here out monthly.
Okay. Is it clear for you, Maria and Romana? Hope it is. And then Peter was saying something about the fact that we have to remember about the different marketing channels. So maybe this is a question for you, Klaus. Also, many, as we saw in our different surveys, many CSA farms are actually doing CSA, but also other alternative marketing channels, or even not alternative. We can see that. And also a lot of farms nowadays, CSA farms, also have activities which are not even related to farming, like consultancy or also bed and breakfast, you know, this kind of hospitality things. Mm-hmm. So the reality is that you have to combine many different marketing channels and also many different activities. How do you take that into account in your Excel documents, Klaus?
Yeah. At first, I want to show in the evening the simplest way. And this is the simplest way. It's a 100% CSA. And I know it from practice that not every farm is a 100% CSA farm. And what you have to do is by the costs and also by the operation resource on every single part, on this person, on this person, on this person. Ask how much work this person in a CSA and in the other, for example, yeah, market, stock market, or a bed and breakfast project or whatever. How much in person? And then you have to figure out that here comes only the money for the CSA in. And this is not so easy. I know it, because when you discuss, okay, this person work so much hours in a week for the CSA, and so much hours for another part. But how can I really figure it out? That is not easy, but you have to do it. That's my answer about, and with all the people, and also with the things. Seeding earth, that are clear, but there are some sticky points I can show you. Leases, yeah, are important, and contractors maybe, and all the big things are this one, electricity, because often the farm gets one number of electricity measure, not 10, or how much varieties you have in your farm, and that's the problem. The same with water. How much water go into the CSA and how much water go into the bed and breakfast project? It's not easy to figure out, I know, but you have to do it. And maybe record it in German just by the thumb. Yeah, it's not necessary to make it on the last cent, but it's on a few euros. You have to do it, and then you get the real price or the real cost better from the CSA at the end, and also from the other farm parts. Is it a good answer? So, and was it clear? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the right button
okay.
to push. But yes, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
I think, sorry, Romana and Maria reported some trouble with the audio, and they couldn't hear the answer about the monthly payment. And actually, Jofi is making an answer by writing. Jofi, maybe you want to share your answer with everyone? Jofi?
Okay, hi. So I'm Jofi from Hungary. I also work on this solid-based project, and I just wanted to add this answer about the commitment. So of course, the ideal way to pay in advance for the whole year, but in some countries, also in Hungary, not all of the consumers can afford to do it. So in that case, many of the CSA farms work with monthly payment, but the consumers sign the contract with the CSA farmer, so they commit themselves to the farm. So it's different than the subscription, because they will be there in the CSA for the whole year, but the payment is monthly. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jofi. It was good to hear a female voice because today we had an all-male panel, which is not very glorious. But to make a balance, in the previous webinars, there were sometimes only female panels. But sorry for having a male-dominated webinar today. Which is not a good reflection of the movement, where we have really a lot of women who are working hard on the farm and for the movement. So another question was about the recording of actual costs during the year, and also I think especially the issue of like recording the worked hours on the farm. It's a question from Sharka, who has been one of the leading researchers doing the solid-based research. Thank you, Sharka, for the question. Klaus, do you want to answer?
Yes, I start with the recording of working hours. I know this problem. In my farm, we have used over a long time very successful just a book. It was a simple book where every day in the evening, all people who work on this farm just take in what have I done today. And once in a month, I take all numbers into my budget. And it takes, if I was a little trained on the method and all people make it good, it's about 2 hours. And I think it's a good investment, these 2 hours. And if you run your CSA over long term, 2-3 years, and you don't change fundamental things, you can stop to make it so exactly. Yeah, but for over a period for maybe 1 year, I think it's interested to see where are the people actually working and how long they take for one work. And the people also like it. I remember much good talkings about can we make things better? Can we make it faster? What can we do? Which implements should we buy, or what is not, or what else? And if you have some really numbers, hey, come on, you see here you need 10 hours for this work and 20 hours for that work. It's really good as a fundamental. That is my recording of work hours answer. And now I have forgotten the first question. Can you help me?
The first question was how to do the actual recording, because this Sharka understood this is more a kind of planning of the cost. So how do you actually record all the expenses?
Yeah. Bank konto.
Sorry, I muted you. Klaus, you are on now.
Ah, okay.
You were muted for a while. Sorry?
Yeah, okay. Just wait. I think the easiest way to record all these costs are the material from the bank konto. There are 2 ways that a CSA can get money. It's by konto or it's by cash. And both are recorded in a way. And this this material you need for the budget. We have in Germany some farms where the what was it called in English?
Was brauchst du, Klaus?
Den Steuerberater auf Englisch.
Tax advisor.
Tax consultancy, genau, here. If we work together with a tax consultancy, you can have a little bit more elegance, because there are an online, a digital tool called CSV, and then you can make the complete data from one farm for 1 year into an Excel. But it's only have few, and I don't know if this work in other countries. So the easiest way is to put by hand all these things in from your own bank konto, and then it's I make it for a big salary, and I think I need just to make out the numbers 10 hours or something else for 1 year. It not take so much time.
Thank you, Klaus. So now we are coming into the last minutes, because we are planning to stop at 7. So maybe 10 more minutes for the last questions. I don't see any hand raised. I'm not sure about the way we should say. And maybe meanwhile, while we are waiting for the next questions, just to let you know that we are going to share a survey link, hopefully before the end of the call or afterwards, after the webinar by email, and it would be very important to have your feedback on very basic questions about how the webinar went on, because it was our first experience. Now we have one hand risen with Domenico. Domenico,
Yes,
the
thank
floor
you.
is yours. Yeah.
Yeah, just a consideration. Do you think that, for example, using like shared docs for this kind of document and like push the people to compile cooperatively the expenses could work, or could be better just to have a person that is responsible and that it's used to compile the Word document?
I think it's better to make a sheet for every individual farm, because the farms are too different to make together. Hello?
Thank you.
Am I on? Okay.
Yes, you are on. Thank you for your answer.
Yeah.
Klaus.
But it's good to have to talk with other farmers about their experience, also about costs. That is really important and effective.
Okay, thank you very much.
Then we have Max. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a comment on this German thing about writing down everything really correctly, but I found the point that one main thing is farmers underpaying themselves very important, because if you don't take into account all the costs you have, like even water and electricity and all this stuff, you will never get a valuable number to value the work or the product you're producing. And I mean, I know it's a lot of work, and I don't think I could do the numbers for 1 year in 10 hours, but I think it's crucial, because I experienced that, and I mean, otherwise this webinar wouldn't exist, that this is kind of a cracking point. And yeah, I think it's very interesting how to collect this data more efficient. Like, I thought about, because Klaus talked about the banking stuff, and there is I mean, I'm not really good with computers, but there's kind of an output from the banking, online banking in Germany, where you can drag all the banking data. So, I mean, maybe this is easier than to type it in by hand. And yeah, but in the end, I agree, the simplest solution is the best. Yeah. It's just a comment.
Yes, thank you for pointing this out. Yeah, and especially the issue of underestimating the cost, and also not applying the fair price for the products from the CSA farm. Okay, and meanwhile, so we have created a monkey.
Can I say something to the
Of course,
comment?
yeah, of course, Klaus. I just wanted to mention.
Yes,
I just wanted to mention that in the chat we have the link to the SurveyMonkey to give your feedback on the webinar now. Okay, Klaus?
Yeah, Max, thank you very much. You have these points, I say it in the beginning, the WAG costs are the importance, because it's in every CSA I know the biggest. And they should, if farmers wants to have the right price for their products, then it's an important thing to make here and here and here the right price. And therefore, the people really need, how much can I really work? How much hours in 1 year can I actually work? How much can I really make on my farm? How much people we need, and how much money need every single person? This is it's good to make it at the end completely clear. That's important. It's not necessary if you are here in your water and your electricity are on the last cent on the right time. But these things are the importance. It's good to say it once again. Okay.
Thank you, Klaus, and thank you for the question, Max. Maybe the very last question. Otherwise, it has been a very lively, very interesting webinar with all of you. Thank you, Klaus, for your very interesting contribution. Thank you, Peter. And thank you, everyone, for your questions. So the second part of the webinar was recorded, starting from where Klaus started to speak, to present. The first part, I have to say, I really apologize, but I forgot to record. But with the PowerPoint presentation, you can get really the essence, the core of our solid-based research results. In the chat, there are a couple of links to urgency websites about both the CSACT project and the solid-based project. And I hope we will be in touch with most of you in the future. That was really a first insight into this very complex issue of making a CSA farm sustainable. So I hope we have a chance to organize more exchanges like that. Yes, and the recorded version, sorry, of the webinar, so the second part will be available on the e-learning platform we are building now. So hopefully before the summer, we will have the platform on and we can share the link where you can share the link to this specific webinar and watch the other ones. And I see a last, once again, Max is raising the hand. So the last question.
Sorry.
Yes,
it's just the thing, because I registered over email and I wanted to know if we get all the relevant information via this email again, or how it works, because I just did it this morning. Maybe it's interesting for someone else too. So if we registered for this webinar, we are kind of in an email contribution.
Okay, sure. You want to be on the urgency info list? Do you want to get more information?
No, because where can I find the Excel sheet or the presentation?
Okay. So it will be available on the e-learning platform I mentioned, which is still being built, so it's not online. But we hopefully will have something before the summer. So basically within 1 month or two. And I want to mention that Joel said that he could share a spreadsheet for complex multi-channel CSAs. So you are also welcome to share your own documents if you have. That's a very good idea, and you can send it to the email I'm writing, and you already have because you registered there. This is our main email contact. Yes, Domenico.
Just brief, could be possible also to share the questionnaire that we used for the first part study or research.
Yes, good point.
If possible.
About the first part, we are going to publish a kind of report about the research, which will provide more details about the results. And I think in the annex or as a link, you can find the full questionnaire we used. But it was quite long and complex, so I don't know how much detail you want about that, but we try to make it available. Yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. We are finishing on time, which is really great. And was very nice once again to be with all of you. We had a peak at 27 participants, which is, I think, quite good. Also taking into account that there will be a lot of people watching and listening to the recording afterwards. Once again, thanks a lot, and hope to meet you face to face one day. And please try to be to keep updated about urgency. We have a Facebook page. Urgency, it's called like this. Maybe you already need it, but in case you don't, I'm sharing it again. That's the Facebook page, and we have also a Twitter, Urgency1, and of course our website where you can find all the necessary information. Thanks a lot, vielen Dank. I don't know how many languages were represented on this call, but quite a lot. And I don't know all of them, but Jona Podkivanok, Ison Latasha, ciao, ciao, goodbye. Merci, au revoir. Ciao.